All right, let me just check. Good. All right. Hi, everyone. It's me, Nightlord131, and welcome to today's stream. We are back in Minecraft. Let me just make sure. All right. The reason why I did not upload the last stream, well, 2 streams from last time, back on not Thursday, Saturday, was because there was just a whole lot of issues going on with that stream, and I just decided not to do, like, mess with that whole fiasco. Today, we will be just taking care of a couple things. We're gonna begin a new project, which will be really fun. And that project will take some time. But, hey, we're gonna get some, cobblestone out of that. And, yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing really great today. My day's been going pretty good, actually. Okay, let me try to find some... I'll keep this with me. Alright. I should probably find some iron. Oh yeah, by the way, in case you guys weren't here in the last stream, I actually got to see the Odyssey during the weekend, and I had a fantastic time watching that movie. Really great movie. If you haven't gone to see the Odyssey, go watch it. It's fantastic. Great movie. Nothing really negative to say. Just like a couple things that were not like a good decision. But beyond that, no, the Odyssey was fantastic. Oh yeah, if you hear chirping, that's crickets. I have crickets for my tarantula in his terrarium, so yeah. That's pretty fun. And it is nice having some like other background noise. So if you do hear the crickets, don't fret. They will not be escaping on my watch. Alright. Let's see. I'll show you guys what the new project is. It may take like a couple streams to actually finish, but when it's all said and done, it'll be fantastic when we get this whole thing done. It has been a while since we actually played Minecraft, but this is a really good change of pace, actually. So that's the new project. Right over there, we will be digging underneath this mountain hill thing. So yeah, we'll just be taking care of that today. So yeah. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I'm actually having my anniversary come up real soon. So if you do want to, come by and watch my anniversary, it is on August 1st at 6:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. I would definitely appreciate it. It will be like a kind of short stream, but it'll be on my anniversary. And I will be now streaming. I will be now consistently streaming for about 2 years. Consistently. So, yeah. That'll be really fun. We will like naturalize the whole area when it's done, but we'll see. Hey, Wilderness Lad, how are you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. Alright. Okay, we're not mute. Awesome. How's it going? There we go. Maybe just... I'm gonna fix this real quick. Awesome. Perfect. But yeah, no, I hope you're doing great, Wilderness Lad, and everyone else in the chat. Yeah. Oh. Good. Just chilling before I continue working on my YouTube project. Awesome. That's awesome, dude. I'm actually, I was gonna write a script for, an album review. But honestly, I don't think I really need a script for, how do you say, my album review video. Because I'm just going to be talking from the heart. And I don't know, I feel like it'll be fun. For those who may not know, in the last stream, I actually got to show off my Bring Me the Horizon, Count Your Blessings, Repented album onto the screen. Well, onto the stream, I mean. And, yeah. It's fantastic. I can't wait to, like, you know, do my review. I'm probably not going to do, like, too crazy stuff on that video. But, you know. Also, I'm probably going to work on some other cool stuff. Script kind of blows. Well, yes and no. The reason I say kinda is, like, sometimes it just kind of, like, takes away from your genuine emotion of, like, oh, this thing's sick, or, like, whatever. Like, there's this one person I watch who does, like, album review stuff, and he does most of his stuff unscripted, and yeah, no, I think he's sick. But there's one thing, however, why I say why a script is important, and that's just because if you have, like, a lot of things to say and you don't know how to, like, approach you know, what you want to say in a given video, I think script writing is a good idea. Well, you know, writing what you want to say, I think does, you know, add some level of cohesion, which I think is important. Not just in, like, any, like, script for, like, a video, like a review, but just also for anything, too, if you don't really know what to say. Alright. But yeah, no, I think it'll be really fun. Really fun video. And I'm also thinking about, when the stream room is complete, that's when I'll actually do a tour video. Like a mini tour video of this entire room. But, I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking at my light changer. I was thinking about changing the lights, but yeah, nah, never mind. I just want to decorate the room a little bit more before actually showing it off, you know? But maybe when I get like a couple more posters or like just like some more figures for the back there, that's when I can actually like say, hey, let's do this tour video. And plus, when like things are a little bit more organized in here. So, yeah. But for the most part, the back is really organized. I built of key points. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a really good way of going about like a video. When I did my Misfits tribute video, actually, and also when I did my Creeper Sanglivore video, I actually like had to write down a lot of the key. Okay, hopefully the stream did not die. Okay, we're good. All right, awesome. We're good. We're good. But no, like I had to write down my thoughts and what I enjoyed and everything else like that. Well, no, especially the Misfits video, it took a little bit. And plus, like, I had to ask a fellow creator on, like, how, like, they, how do you say, approach incorporating, like, film in, like, other video into your video in order to, like, you know, add to. And, no, I got a lot of, like, you know, good info that will definitely help me for like future projects. When I did my CD video, reaching out and like asking for advice, it really did like help that video, you know. I actually reached out through how do you say, Instagram. I message and be like, "Hey, I loved your original Misfits video. I want to make my own video, and I would appreciate if you could give me some just ask like genuine advice, because no other creator has ever really told me straight up on like how to incorporate like concert footage into a video. But no, I got a lot of good advice. By the way, I'll link his YouTube video in the description when this comes out, so you can go check out their channel. Kind of an inspiration on me. It wasn't a whole, like, my Misfits video was not a full breakdown of their history. No. Which, by the way, I do recommend checking out the Misfits Retrospective on, like, their history if you want to have, like, a better understanding of the Misfits. But mine was, you know, just a tribute video that only brushed very, very, only talked about like Glenn Danzig and made the history a little bit more smaller and condensed when it's actually a little bit longer. So yeah. But for my horror YouTube channel thing that I'm going to be working on, I'm probably going to take that principle and like make not just for like, is it lagging? The video, I mean. No, I think it's good. All right. But no, I'm going to use those key points in order to like work on other tribute videos for Sawin / Samhain. I'm just going to call the band will that band specifically Samhain and not refer to the actual like holiday? Which, by the way, that's how Halloween, like it was, the precursor to modern day Halloween, the Celtic festival. There we go. But yeah, no, I'm gonna work on one for like Blitzkid, Calabrese. Maybe I'll work on one for Cancer Slug. Maybe like all those different horror punk slash psychobilly bands, and maybe some death rock. I think that would be really fun. I will probably make like a, how do you say, a mini history, like a mini history video about the band. Us, I say Samhain. I might at some point. We'll see. But if there is any like horror themed band that you guys want to see a video on, just let me know. And if you're asking about Ice Nine Kills, well, they're not horror punk, but I would do a video on them because I do like them. So. All right. I'm trying to think. Uh-oh. I hear baby zombie. All right. Whew, perfect. Hi. Yeah, hi. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Here, let me just turn on. Let me just make my fan a little bit I need more air. It gets a little bit hot in here. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Actually, I can't really see. There we go. That's better. It's nice to have you in the stream. How are things going? Actually, let me just get my coal. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Here. Let me see if the sliding works. Yeah, no, I'm sorry that Twitch was giving you some difficulty. It's not a perfect website, but I do hope that it wasn't that difficult by any means. Well, I thought Twitch was just an app. Oh, it's an entire website. I get paid through this website. So, yeah. This is my this is the future career I'm working on. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, honestly, like there's a lot of people out there when it comes to like streaming, they'll talk about streaming because of like, you know, the big creators out there that exist, and for me, no, I can see myself 8 years from now just, you know, doing this, and not just that, but also YouTube in general. Prior to streaming, I wouldn't have done any of this stuff. So, yeah. Ooh, it looks. Is the lag on the video, well, on the stream bad by any chance? So what's. So it's more of a hobby? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, not really? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Here, let me just turn this light back on. But no, streaming has been like a huge, huge thing for me personally. It's it got me out of a real bad spot in my life, and no, I'm entirely grateful for it. So my relationship to you know, streaming and YouTube in general has also been like majority positive. There are drawbacks, of course, but you know, that's with everything, you know, in life. So, yeah. But anywho, how have you been? There we go. Hmm. I really hope that one issue does not happen again. My well, I've been doing good. Wait, just give me a sec. I've been doing okay. Just doing my remote job, trying to get my room cleared up. Oh, I see. Well, that's good. By the way, if you hear a cricket in the background, um, that's my crickets. Those are the crickets for my tarantula, Anansi, actually. So if you hear crickets, um, don't worry. They're fine. Well, you know what? I got way too many books. Oh, sick. What books have you been reading lately? Or like what are your favorite books you've been reading? Or like in your collection? There we go. Graphic novels? Cool. That's cool. I used to have well, I still have like a bunch of my Sandman graphic novels from well, how do you say this? Ava Demons is my favorite comic book right now. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. It sounds pretty interesting, actually. I need to get back into graphic novels. I began to make it an effort to read some more and just you know, expand on that. I actually I was going to read the Odyssey again before seeing the Odyssey movie, but no, the Odyssey movie actually did really well. Like with the actual I say epic poem itself. And that was really fun. Listen to the music from the musical epic. I mm, I know about its existence, but I have not really checked out uh I haven't checked out Epic. I may actually uh do that. Well, where can you watch, or at least mainly watch? Where can you watch Epic, if you don't mind me asking? I'm assuming something like YouTube, right? All right, there we go. You should. It's free on YouTube. Loads of animations on the songs. Cool. Sure, I'll have to check it out later. You know, when it comes to musicals, like, how should I say this? I really do enjoy. Um, I've listened and have watched several musicals, like Little Shop of Horror. That's one that I've seen, and The Sound of Music. I think what's that one? West Side Story. I think The Wizard of Oz is considered a musical. And also the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That one is great. Yeah, exactly. Actually, that would be a great idea. Or on Twitch. Ooh. I'm gonna be really for real with you. I've said this before. When it comes to Twitch, and mainly just also with YouTube as well. Here, let me just turn this down. I feel like this is really loud. Those crickets, I swear. I am able to do certain things. I'm planning to watch a public domain movie here on the stream, and then it goes out to YouTube. But I am so terrified of copyright claims and strikes. You won't believe, because that's something. I actually maybe might do a Twitch exclusive, and maybe through that I can actually it won't go to YouTube. It'll just be fully live, and there won't be any complications. Once the stream is over, it'll probably not be happened again. Not because it wouldn't be enjoyed or anything, but just because of the scare of the repercussions. I wish that Twitch and YouTube had a system where you could just pay to you know show off something without like facing any legal consequences. Kind of like traditional media. Yeah. Oh man. I'm sorry. Oh, if I'm like here, just give me a sec. I'm sorry. It's a little bit hot and all that stuff. So, as long as you credit the song writer slash director, it should be fine. Or if you want, you could upload to my channel. Well, honestly, no. Like, specifically when it comes to like the movies, the movie side of things, like using a public domain, uh, I say film, like the ones I want to show, are just like notorious that you get a copyright claim and like you face some small issues and then ooh, then you have like the strike, which I don't know, people can abuse the copyright strike system, which is terrible. So I don't know. I have been thinking about reaching out to a YouTube channel that hosts like movies and like try to get some opinion so I can actually do show off like a movie or something. That's the beauty of it. Epic is a concept musical. For now, it's only a series of songs. My question is, are they DMCA free? If they're not, that will not be able to, sadly. I could, like, I was talking to this one friend of mine, and we were talking about like adding music to streams and stuff. I was thinking maybe, like, I don't really like to use. I'll look it up. Awesome. I was thinking about maybe, like, I don't like Spotify, and I don't want to give any of them my money. But like, maybe if I do get Spotify, and then I hook it up to the stream, and so that when the VOD actually comes out, you guys won't be able to hear it, nor will I, when it's in a full video format. But when it's like the stream is live, the music will be able to be heard. I actually might do that. I don't know. We'll see. But again, I don't want to give Spotify my money because Spotify notorious for a lot of not great things when it comes to not paying their artists. And also just the AI music stuff, which I don't like at all. If there's one thing I dislike is when I find out something is generative AI anything, I will immediately like pull away because I am that fervent. But no, even if it is um, not DMCA free, I think I'll still try to figure out how to actually play that stuff. And then we can do like a live react thing because I'll be hearing it for the first time. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen to it like off the stream and actually give you guys an opinion. I want, like, if it's possible, I want to do like a actually listen to it and actually like, you know, give an opinion live. I don't know. I think that would be pretty fun. So turns out you have to contact the director. Oh, okay. Oh, oh, sure. I don't know how. Like, maybe I should. Maybe I should like reach out. Like actually email. Ooh, that would be kind of scary. I don't know. Well, I'll have to think about it really, and then do that, or just yeah, I'll have to try it. Hmm. What was I gonna say? But yeah, no. If let's just say the person turns it down, the worst thing he can say is no. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And if I still don't get a yes, I'll just get the Spotify, put it on the stream, make it so that when this comes out as like a video, that the music is not heard. So then it just looks like I'm like reacting to nothing. But no, I think that would be cool. Again, I don't want to like really support Spotify and like give them money or anything like that, but maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. When it comes to like music on streams, I was thinking about like just getting iHeartRadio. I really like iHeartRadio. It's actually pretty good stuff, you know? Like I have the free app and you only get like 6 skips per like section station when it comes to like a given artist that you look up. But honestly, no, I really do like iHeartRadio. Yes, they are. Yes, 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 they are. I watched this like there's a bunch of like really great how do you say YouTube channels. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like there's like well, some are like from Spotify itself, but then there's just like other people who just want to insert themselves in by like, getting into a particular genre, and sometimes Spotify too. Like it's how do you say playlists for certain genres. Like I don't listen to like how do you say country, but I've heard that country has had a lot of yeah. Yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, I've said this before, but I feel like AI, well, excuse me, generative AI fatigue is going to get stronger and stronger. Or you'll have some people who are willingly eating the AI slop. And, you know, I I don't know. But most people to like how I feel about it. Well, no, most people from like my daily experiences and just talking to people, everyone except like the people who are actively like, you know, working, well no, not even working. People who are like investing into it, other than that, most other people are just like, you know, not even fans of it. Generative AI in their space, and then like, hold on, and then like, that's a good way of getting more people on the anti generative AI, machine. Actually, you know, I said this in the last stream before. Oh, ha! Wait till they find out how. Yes, it is. It is. I actually said this in the last stream, which I had to delete because there was like a lot of issues going on with that one. I said for like for the gamers out there who don't care about art, for the people out there, the gamers out there who don't care for art, they don't care for workers' rights, they don't care about the environment, they don't care about their drinking water being affected by generative AI data centers. All the prices of those, I say, game consoles have gone up because of the price of RAM. RAM used for PCs and everything else. All those consoles, the shortage is hurting them hard. So, for the people out there who, gamers out there who don't care about any of those things, they should still be angry because you can't have your AI cake and have your gaming stuff without either the gaming consoles, you know, still being as they are, and there isn't a RAM shortage, or you can have your AI whatever and have the price go up because of that. And like, I don't know, it's a losing battle to even like really be on that thing anyway. So who's who's in favor of it besides like big businesses that say, hey, we don't need to hire these people, let's just like, you know use generative AI, and then that gets rid of jobs. But I do want to say, however, I do have to say, however, like, it is kind of difficult to like, let's just say you're on a budget when it comes to like a movie or something, and then like you only use like small amounts. To me personally, I'm still gonna think, though, that's not great. You should be using more practical effects or whatever. But if it was like something much smaller that can't afford to like, you know find uh, someone to do the cover art of a band, or like, the practical effects needed for like some movie, I, you could say it's more pick and choosy kind of thing, but I try not to be as hard on individual people who don't have the resources, right? I don't know. Maybe it's like a weird gray zone for me, but I try to treat like, ordinary people kind of stuff through that lens, if that makes sense. Maybe that's not a great thing for me to exactly say, but mm, yeah. Okay, let me just read that. I kind of want to redraw Angel Machine, horror edge made mostly. Yeah, like, I know this really great how do you say, creator, a really really great creator that I take a lot of inspiration from, and like, how do you say, he did this really great video. His name is Crust Bag, and I really recommend you check out his stuff. He's really great. Sometimes he can like he had this video where he was like the niche things that piss me off kind of stuff, and it's like more silly stuff, but then like, oh, I don't know about that. But Crust Bag, great creator. He had like did like I think a subscriber count video thing, and he was talking about like stuff, and he admitted like in the early years of generative AI, he was going to do like you know a video about, it was like a horror thing. I don't think it was horror. It came out a bit ago, but he had said in that video like, oh, like at the time when the Will Smith spaghetti video came out, he was like, "Oh, it would be funny to like do something like that because I wouldn't have like the resources to do this high level like video." And eventually, you know, like he didn't make the video, but at the time when generative AI was still like relatively new, and it was still like it was laughable back then like he regrets like even thinking about it, which I understood where he was coming from. But no, he's a great creator, really good guy. I like Crust Bag, a personal influence on me. All right. Yeah, definitely. Like actually, you bring up a good way of you actually brought up something good, which I wanted to expand upon. Like how we have electricity in our homes, and we kind of view it. Oh, speaking of a thing, let me take care of that. I hate those viewbot things. I hate them so much. Some of the bigger streamers have been caught using those things to artificially inflate themselves, which um no, I don't believe in any of that. What was I going to say? Oh, what I was going to say with like how was I going to say this? Oh, electricity in our homes. We kind of think of it like we kind of view electricity as like a magic source, like it's always going to be there. But when the power goes out, that electricity is gone. It requires a lot of stuff to generate electricity. And like sometimes it's done ethically, but then there's other times where it's not done ethically, and it can cause severe amounts of harm. And when it comes to generative AI, for someone who doesn't do their research, they'll be like, "Oh, look at me. I can type in something into this prompt thing and magically it appears. That's incredible." But like unbeknownst to them, like let's just say they did care about the environment and they did care about like workers and they just didn't know. And when you actually tell them, for those people who do care, they'll be like, "Oh, actually this is not great." You know, like I don't really get mad at those folks who will use who like in the early times, like when they did not know the process, they'll be like, "Oh, it's just a funny thing," But in reality, it comes with a lot of drawbacks, huge drawbacks. I don't know. That's how I like to approach things. Like, for me personally, I like to approach things through, like, let's just say someone does not know this problematic thing. And, how do you say this? They don't know, and, like, they don't stand for what that bad thing represents. And, if they're willing to hear you out and, like, everything else, no, that's a good way of going about things. Some people are not so charitable. Some people are more, they act in bad faith, and when they see that, they're like, "Oh, you're so terrible." And no, no, I personally like to approach things that way. If they're knowingly, though, that kind of says a little bit more about their personality than anything. That's how I like to treat things. It's like, oh, you didn't know that? That's okay. Wait, you do know? And you're still doing it? I don't know. I don't know about that. uh, a YouTuber who made those weird SpongeBob theory videos and liked them to be a Happy Farms YouTube channel. He used AI but didn't know all about the background behind the industry. Well, again, like what you brought up with that YouTuber thing, if you just didn't know, and like, I don't want to say lazy, because some people are lazy. Everyone can be lazy. I can be lazy, and I'll be like, "Oh, this thing, it sounds really cool," and then they just use it and not really know about like everything else like that. I feel like that's mildly fine. You know what I mean? I don't know. I try to act in good faith and give people the betterment of the doubt, because, sometimes people are not willing to, like, extend the hand and listen. But I don't know. I feel like that hasn't been as much of a thing as of late. But I think also too with like with social media especially, some people will wait. Some people will say, "Oh, act on it now. Act on it now." And wait till later, which I don't know. I don't think that's the right way of going about things. And plus there's a monetary side of it too. Like when people make drama videos or whatever, like there's a audience who, feed on that stuff. And I don't know. It's still part of the business kind of stuff, but I don't know. I could never see myself in that kind of space. Wow. I don't know. That's oh dear. Don't even get me started on that kind of stuff, because like I don't know. It's insane. It really is. It really is. There's a lot of folks out there that are, I don't know, it makes it, you know, concerning to a degree. So, no, not even just that. It's just there's like so many levels that it's kind of hard to really like tackle those kinds of things. I totally understand that. Plus, his movie was made pre anti AI. Yeah, exactly. But is there anything else I was gonna say? Um, but yeah, no, like I think, well, how do I say this? I think when approaching any kind of given topic, like if people, how do you say this? This could be seen as an arbitrary line, and that's completely fine. But I personally like to think through things in like this kind of space. I like to think of when it comes to like the. I would have just asked for pictures. I suppose, but then there's like another added layer to that type of dimension when it comes to like people being people and acting all weird. Like I feel like that adds an extra layer to that kind of dimension. Like especially when something is public, when it's out there, like you have good people, bad people, and then you will have those people who are just in the middle, and they can look at anything that, the person who originally created that thing and intended it to be like positive, and you can have those negative people take that positive thing, warp it into something bad and shitty, and then you have like the same for like someone who is bad creates something, and then a person who, you know who isn't a piece of shit will look at that and be like, oh, let's make that actually good. In Now I use good, bad. I think you know I think you know what like I mean when I use the words good and bad. And then you have the people in the middle who just, how do you say, who are just people. They're, yeah, yeah, totally. Whew. That's a lot. That's a, long. It's a way of viewing things. All right. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about like when it comes to like when something that seems good on the surface and people are embracing that, and they did not know anything pre like that kind of stuff being known. I feel like I don't want to say give them a pass, but at least not be as harsh when that kind of info comes out later. That's when I will be a little bit more judgmental. Uh, to just say like with generative AI again, like the people who did not know and they were just like being silly with it, like I I kind of want to give those kinds of people a pass just because did they know that information did not really become public until like a little bit later on, but now seeing the effects, now those like, the people who still do it, you know now a little bit more subjected to that. I don't know, I just like to see it through that lens when like someone will go after a person and be like, you created this 4 years before this was actually known to be bad. I don't know. Doesn't mean that it doesn't take away the criticism, but should it be as harsh? No, not really. Not how I see it, though. Other people are free to, look at those kinds of things through their lens, and that's completely fine. But you know, that's all. Yeah. Oh, I should probably get to sleep. Actually, here, let me run and take care of something. That's all, folks. Yeah, exactly. That's all, folks. Now I'll just wait until the sun goes down. But anywho, moving on from that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think. But yeah, no, the Odyssey was completely a great movie, and so was Evil Dead. Evil Dead Burn, that was really fun. I can't wait for that new Spider-Man movie, and I also can't wait for what else? That new Avengers movie. The trailer just dropped today, and that was pretty sick. And let me think it. Oh, the werewolf movie I can't wait for, and then the Clayface movie, and oh, what's cool? But what is a EDB? What's EDB? I am not familiar. My apologies. I don't know if that. Well, it stands for something, but what is EDB? Oh, excuse me. Oh boy, oh boy, you're gonna see it tomorrow? Oh man, oh boy, I saw it on opening day. Oh boy, I really hope you have a good time. I really hope you have a good time. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm not gonna tell you anything about it. All I have to say, it's brutal. It's brutal. And oh, I don't know if I should. Question. That's awesome. I hope you have a great time. But can I ask you one question? Are you It's a bit of a spoiler thing, but in case that kind of stuff upsets you, that's completely fine. I'm just asking if you are okay with it, getting a heads up for this kind of stuff. Are you okay? Like, do you get upset when a animal dies? That's my question. In a film, because I really wish that I got that very much. Okay, how should I put this? There is This is just one. Well, I don't really. Well, it is a spoiler, but it is an important thing to know. There is a dog that does die quite violently. Yeah, no, a dog does. I know, but just so you are prepared, there will be one very violent scene that happens. So be very prepared. I'm just telling you this now because I love animals. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love animals. To be honest with you, when it comes to, I was thinking this a bit ago, but in horror movies, but not even just horror movies, just movies in general. I will. I'll go to the bathroom when it comes up. Well, no, it's admittedly the scene itself. Admittedly, the scene itself is very fast, and they don't really, put too much like additional attention to it. And plus, the camera, you can only see like the dog's paws and the legs. So I think you'll be fine when it comes to that. Like it is violent, and you hear the yelp. That is really terrible. But no, beyond that, it's it happens, and then it's gone. So just letting you know. But no, in any movie, when a dog, well, no, any pet or like a kid dies in a movie, that that just really that really makes it makes everyone upset. Yeah, but like I'm fine with like adult humans dying in a film because like that they are like conscious and have like a lot of life experience, but with a pet, like yeah, like it's terrible. But when a like a kid dies too, it's like it's a hit to the stomach because that kid could have lived a long life and like all that other stuff. Like I don't know, that kind of stuff always rubs me the wrong way. I hate it when pets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Welcome to the Stream Wilderness Lab. We were just talking about Evil Dead Burn. I did actually rewatch like a bunch of Evil Dead movies pre um pre Evil Dead Burn. And to be honest with you, if you ask me my favorite Evil Dead movie, well, it's lighthearted, yeah, but I really enjoy. Well, it's actually my very first Evil Dead movie I ever saw, and it was Army of Darkness. I loved Army of Darkness, and then the original Evil Dead from 1981, all-time favorite, and then the second one. Admittedly, Evil Dead 2013, I enjoyed that movie. I really did. The only thing that really sucks about that one is that another dog dies in that movie. It's terrible. Like again, as I said, like please stop going after the poor pets and the kids. Just go and if you're gonna like focus on, like focus on these like I say like the main victims of this like movie that we are supposed to care about, please just focus on them. Like I know it's for shock value, but like it makes me upset. And not in a puerile kind of way, but just like, unfortunately these kinds of things can happen and I don't know, it just makes me upset. And it should make anyone upset too. What was I gonna say? But yeah, welcome to the Stream Wilderness Lad. I hope you're doing great today. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Exactly, exactly. Well, since yeah, the actor who played Jason refused to kick. Well, that's good. To be honest with you, like there's some what was I gonna say? Hmm. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, you know, honestly, I think it's like impressive. I don't know if any of you guys are really into like film history, but like to consider how far like I would say workplace protections have, you know, grown when it comes to like movies, it's wild. It's incredible because like some of the earliest film we have silent movies, like there's this retelling of oh, my Jason may be dangerous, but he has morals. Yes, exactly, exactly. But you know, some of the very first like silent movies, like there's this retelling of the flood from and standards. Yes. What was I gonna say? I need lights. There's like a retelling of Noah's Ark, and in that silent movie, like they had a ton of extras in this giant pool. Back, I think it came out in like 1916. I could be wrong in the year, but they actually got all these extras to like, you know, be in the swimming pool to reenact like the flood coming in. But unfortunately, when you watch the footage today, those are real people actively dying in that film and they kept it in it. It's insane. And obviously, like I say, some like scenes in certain movies have evolved over like the decades, like 50s, 60s. No, like they still had some protections, but not as much as we have today. I think up until like the 80s at least, like universally across the planet, that's when like, you know, these types of standards in like film started to be like incorporated. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And honestly, like I don't know, it is upsetting. And I can't remember the specific movie. It's a war movie called Come and See. It's a famous Soviet movie. It's like one of the more best, like well made silent movie. No, not silent movies. Excuse me, Soviet movies out there. It what came out sometime in the 80s, and like they actually do kill a cow just for that movie, which was terrible. And watching that scene now, it's still unsettling. But if you want like a good piece of Soviet like film that still exists and arguably is a really good like war movie made from like the Soviet perspective on like um, Nazi Germany invading the Soviet Union from the Soviets' point of view, it's a fantastic movie. Other than that one scene, we need a new Sam from Trick or Treat movie. Fuck Chucky. Well, you came to the right place for this because you know I respect Chucky as an icon, yeah, but man, do I not like Chucky. I think Chucky is in case anyone is watching and they're like a huge Chucky fan, no disrespect to those people. If you love Chucky, great on you. Um, I just personally don't like Chucky. I do have to say the Chucky show is pretty good though. But besides that, like the Cowboys, I kind of like Chucky, but Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about Chucky. Well, yeah. No, like for me, like okay, I like. I don't know how I should say this. Like as icons, the like horror slashers from the 80s, they are how do you say icons, and they do get a lot of representation when it comes to like horror media and just talking about horror in general. And that's like, they earned it, but I just think the overexposure of those characters in plushie form, action figure form, and just like all this other kind of stuff, they kind of make me be like, I don't know, I want something different, you know. So it's no disrespect to those characters, really. It's just I think when it's in when it's like all over the place when it comes to like those characters specifically, it kind of makes me like, do that. Nothing against like them as, icons, but you know. But no, I do like that about Chucky actually. He's much like Jason, he's, you know, a slasher, but he has some morals, and that's what's good. And standards too. If there's like some other slashers who do need to like deserve some love, I would have to say Henry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. Pumpkinhead would be great. The movies started to get boring and overcompensated. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't like honestly, what's that one thing? The new Jason show. I think that will be interesting. Like I'll try to watch it and then like actually give an opinion on it. But I don't know. I just feel like it would be really cool to just get like something like hopefully it's a good show and then like my opinions are invalidated by that. But like I do want the other slashers from the 80s. Like if we're just talking about 80s slashers, there's tons out there who do deserve some more, love. Art is my favorite slasher. He embodies what a slasher is. Yeah. To be honest with you, Art, like I like the A24 horror movies and all that kind of stuff. I do, but I've said this before, but I feel like when you create the norm that that's what the modern day horror movie has to be, and everyone's just like following that trend. I think characters like Art and even like that what's that other character called? Even that like Thanksgiving slasher who looks like a pilgrim. I think like I think that is a fresh of. I think that's like an error. I think that's excuse me. I think that is a breath of fresh air because it's something interesting. And plus, we don't get that many like holiday slashers as much as we used to, like with Black Christmas or like My Bloody Valentine or even like Halloween when that was like you know the poster child of that. Yeah, exactly. I'm actually planning on getting a NECA figure of Art the Clown and putting him in there, and I'm gonna put him right next to Pennywise, my two Pennywises, and that'll be pretty cool. If you ask me which brutal kill Art has that made me like sick, my sick to my stomach, Well, no, I don't really care for those main slashers. The only one who I think is kind of really cool is Freddy, and I'm actually planning on getting like how do you say this? I'm planning for like prop weapons. I'm planning on getting Freddy's gloves, putting it over there, and a Kandarian dagger, and if not that, a chainsaw to put up there too. Ash's chainsaw from Evil Dead. And like I don't know, I want to get some like small prop weapons, of course, like an angel blade from Supernatural. Like yes, exactly, exactly. Oh, excuse me. Honestly, like I went like on Halloween night. I actually went to see Friday the 13th, and that was so sick. He is such. He is a ridiculous slasher. I just like his claws. Okay, he is not ridiculous. If you've seen the original, I'm just like outside of the other like Friday the 13th. No, not Friday the 13th. Oh my gosh. Um Nightmare on Elm Street films. The original is fantastic. The whole idea of a character who can kill you in your dreams. Like you don't need to be one giant lumbering oaf like Michael Myers and like, you know. Oh yeah, that is an extra like dimension to it, and that's like a oh. But no, I do like, you know, Michael made. Yeah. When I think of slasher. Yeah, no, of course. Of course. Like when it comes to like the slashers, well no, when it comes to Halloween in general, like the main folks I think of are like ooh the brutal killer. Of course, you will have, you know, Jason. That's a big one I think of. And then I think of Dracula. Then I think of Frankenstein. Then I think of the Wolfman. Then I think of a killer clown, which that can fit into Pennywise or just Art the Clown, personally. I'm not biased, I swear. Well, yeah, like before before Jason, Michael Myers was well, you know, even before Michael Myers, there was like a bunch of pre original slashers. Like if any of you guys have seen like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari from the 20s, like like how that character walked around with that giant knife, I felt was a fantastic, you know, pre slasher. And to me, even Jaws also like embodies like a slasher in his own, like excuse me, Bruce the shark from Jaws, embodies that kind of thing. Mm, not, I would well gets lumped in with them, yes, but I don't personally like. There's some people out there who want to say that Ghostface is not one, and that's like no, totally is one, and the whole reason like the Scream movies even like became a how do you say I like the whole reason those films even came out was it was like a subtle homage to slashers. I just hate how people just think, oh, hockey mask. No, you were you. Yeah. Well, you know, honestly, like word of mouth, especially like how people talk about films. Like, okay, this is one thing. that I don't like when it comes to like people who watch film reviews. People who watch film reviews just to get like an additional take. I feel like there's a bunch of people out there, like, to take for example like the Odyssey movie. There were a bunch of people who were trying to like, praise for that film's like demise or something like that. And like they said like those, certain people who are more or less grifters, they will say, "Oh yeah, I got to see the movie like a month before it actually came out and it was terrible." And they'll try to feed on like, you know, that kind of stuff to actually get somewhere. All from the same guy. Really? Well, honestly, ooh, actually, I remember hearing a story from James A. Janice from no, not Evil Dead, from Dead Meat, and he was exactly talking about how like there was like a killer, like they watched a scream and they actually committed a murder, and that was completely terrible. Let me see this. I feel like Ghostface is more murder mystery, but counts still as a slasher. Yeah, of course. Well, the whole thing with Ghostface is that multiple people can be Ghostface. I heard the Odyssey movies themes were more Christian than mostly historians like. Well, as a person, like I remember reading the Odyssey before, like reading it in high school, and then like reading it again in high school. Jason is the king of slashers and embodies it more than anyone else. I do agree with that take. The thing is, like I saw what Christopher Nolan was trying to do, and like he was trying to, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but some of the themes of how that movie was how that movie was trying to like, I'm trying to figure out how I can put this because I don't want to spoil too much anything for people who haven't seen it. But like, yeah, no, like they did change up, like, to me, the core message of the Odyssey, and tried to spin it to like how we treat each other. And I think that is like a interesting way of like approaching that kind of thing through the story of the Odyssey. I don't know. Let me see this. There was a man who murdered women and families and put their bodies in very low lewd positions. Oh my gosh. You know, I try to have a good view of humanity. I've said this before, but sometimes like the more negative qualities of humanity do like come out of people, and then people do horrendous things like that. And like it's a part of me like thinks, okay, maybe it's time to like do a wrap. It's over. And a part of me thinks like, oh, there can be some like hope out there, but like, geez, some people are truly demented. Some people are true. Like, I don't really believe in the idea of like evil out there or anything else like that. But a part of me still thinks, I don't know if I can really say that as much as I want to, and like take the blame away. Like some people will say there's an evil force out there and try to like, take away like that person's responsibility for doing that type of stuff. But I don't know. It's hard to say sometimes. the man's crimes inspired the first Scream movie. That is terrible. I wish we got a new Texas Chainsaw movie, but more into his history, mental health. I think there is something. I don't know. Like when it comes to Leatherface, I think there is a new movie coming out. I'm not entirely sure. I do know that there is like a bunch of how do you say Texas Chainsaw movies out there, but I don't know. I think there is, and I think in some of his movies, well, some of those movies, like the sequels, did like touch on that kind of stuff. Maybe there should be a modern reboot, but I don't know. Yeah, there is something like prequels, but they kind of suck or or were mid. Yeah, that is, you know, that is one thing. What was I gonna say? Sometimes some sequels and prequels are just really unneeded, but I think with like a right decision, I think you can make the best sequel that makes the original. It adds on. And I think like with one of my favorite action sci-fi horror movies, Aliens, I think did a fantastic job and added a new layer to the xenomorph. I think they did great. Which, by the way, I pre-ordered NECA's like overmorph egg carton thing. Hopefully it comes in, but when it does, I'm going to show you guys here on the stream and just show you because like I don't know. I feel like it would be really cool. I don't know. I love like face huggers freaked me out when I was a kid, but like I want to like have like a small statue and put it like somewhere. I don't know. I liked uh those. I feel his family fucked him up and caused it by protecting him instead of helping him. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. You actually bring up something. Well, it's not really related to that, but it kind of is. Like, there's this one film trilogy I want to watch. LOL Xenomorph Eggs in a carton. Exactly. And it's so cute because like it comes in it comes in an egg carton that it has like 6 slots. 3 are closed and the other are open, and it comes with like mini you know uh face huggers. I've actually okay. Maybe some of you may think it's funny, but maybe at some point I might actually do it and spend that money at some point. I don't know. I don't want to like flaunt stuff because stuff. Well, to be humble and all, but at some point I want to get like a giant overmorph egg, which by the way, those are the names of the xenomorph eggs that hold the face huggers. I am a nerd, just so you know. And I'm gonna put. I was thinking about getting one and putting one right somewhere here in the stream room. It is $700 though, so maybe at some point I'll actually buy one. I can tell you. I bet it tastes like acid. Maybe there's one way to find out. Maybe I'll do that. Yes, $700. $700 for a giant overmorph egg that is, yeah, like here. I've took the measurements for that egg, and it would probably be up to here. It would meet to up here. Or I have seen other measurements where it could be up to here too. So I would have to make a lot of space for that. A new weapon for Wolf Bull. Oh boy. You know, I do want to get a predator mask from like the movie series Predator and put it right up there too. I'm gonna have like some weapons and everything. You might as well have an actual xenomorph. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Spirit Halloween will open in August, and they have a huge list of animatronics, and I have considered a giant animatronic of a xenomorph that cost around which predator? Uh, the Jungle Predator from 1987. There's a giant animatronic of Big Chap, the original xenomorph, and it's like $400 on their website on uh, Spirit Halloween website. But I had learned from a employee of Spencer's is that if you work at Spencer's and you shop over at Spirit Halloween, you actually get a huge discount actually. So if you worked over at Spencer's, since they're owned by the same parent company, you can actually go over to Spirit Halloween and get something for a significant discount. Not a huge discount, but a discount regardless. Boy. Yeah, exactly. I think that would be so cool. Well, honestly, they could actually. I like okay, when it comes to like the collecting business, there's a lot of really good how you say like small indie companies. Like when it comes to like collectibles of statues, there's this business called Sideshow Collectibles, and they're always like they have like different varieties of how do you say of different statues. Like yes, they do horror, but they also do like how do you say? Let's just say you have a favorite Disney character or comic book character. They got one. They got it. Usually their prices is like 135 bucks to even $1,000 for like certain pieces. And if you are willing to like actually buy those kinds of stuff, then you know, he's a role model for young men. Yeah, interesting. But what was I gonna say? But no, like they can like also Trick or Treat Studios does like statues as well, but they can also like have like props, and they actually have a Necronomicon Ex Mortis prop. Like they go on sale quick and then they're gone. And like I've considered getting a Necronomicon Ex Mortis, and I'm trying to find like a good price for Alistair pilot version. Oh man, now that would be really cool. Like honestly, oh gosh. Oh gosh, I can't wait. I unload those at work. They're heavy as fuck. Wait, you've unloaded like small like statues? Oh, sick. Well, not. I'm sorry, that it's extremely heavy, but I'm a stand-up Alistair for Alistair. Yeah, he's great. Honestly, there's this convention over in California called Monster Palooza. I would love to go there. They get all the famous actors, directors, uh, musicians, all things horror. You get to like actually meet like those kinds of people. The big things in your yard, yes. Oh wow, that's incredible, dude. Sorry that they, were heavy, but that that is a lot of work. But no, like they have all these different vendors. I would love to go to Monster Palooza one day. It's in somewhere in Southern California. I would have a copy. Really? Well, honestly, yeah. That's sick. That's sick, though. I'm trying to think. Who would I have a thing of? I have a standee of Verosca Mayday, and I do have something of Stolas, but maybe it would be interesting to get like a small statue. I did see a Pennywise statue, and it's like $155. Maybe like if those maybe if that statue is like still around, I might actually I actually might buy it. I actually might buy it later in the year if they're still having that one Pennywise statue around. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna buy it. That would be really cool. By the way, it's a sexy Pennywise, and it would be like, oh man. They also had a like they have like sexy versions of like the famous slashers. So there's one for Jason. There's one for um, Billy the Puppet from Saw. Well, you gonna keep it in your closet? Oh, here, let me just turn on the fan a little bit more. Um, yeah, no, I might actually like put it right next to Bruce the Shark. Yeah. Okay. Like the Kardashians? Getting steamy? Yes. This room is hot as hell. Like this room, I love this new room, but compared to like my older room, it gets hot up here. That's why I need to, hold the fan, but for joke, I don't judge. Great, but also for jokes like this, just just think of my fan as a tool of jokes, I guess. Millie is 10 times hotter, lol, with her accent. Okay, okay. we're Now we're going in this direction. If you ask me, oh gosh, Blitz. I like Blitz. I like Blitz a lot. I don't really have a necessary favorite where I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so hot. I don't really have that kind of thing. Awesome. Let me see if I can find something. Just give me a sec. Oh. Okay, there we go. Um. No, you're good. You're good. Lol. Excuse me. Luna is interesting as a character. I have a thing for men with. Ah, I see. I see. When it comes to my props, I only have a couple props. I have one red eye. You know. I also got this thing, coffee thing. As a character, sure. Yeah. Just give me one sec. I also have a heart. I am going to be getting like other like body part stuff and just like put them around. Um let's just say Spirit Halloween, they should know me by this point. Um there you go. And the last thing prop wise is this. Yeah. I do have to say, however, this thing is kind of, it does mess with my nose, so yeah, I won't wear it as much. Yes, 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 I am. I feel Millie is underappreciated. I hate Moxie as a big baby. Listen, Moxie, I do like Moxie. I do like Moxie. I'm not a big fan of Lucifer. Yeah, no, he's not the best dad, no. Like honestly in the second season, he was not doing jack shit. Literally Vox was having a whole campaign to like go after Charlie and say all these terrible and like all this terrible stuff, and literally Lucifer, that motherfucker, was just like standing and just like he cares about his daughter, but I feel like you should like insert yourself. I don't know. Wait a minute. But yeah, no, I can't wait till Spirit Halloween opens. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go so deep into Spirit Halloween, find some hearts. Well, no, find some arms, some fake weapons, and then we'll be really good. Yeah, definitely. Stella though. Stella's cool. Well, when it came to like I'm trying to remember. Plus, he's literally bullied Alistair, Charlie's friend, staff into quieting. Sorry, I just really don't like Lucifer. Yeah, no, I don't know. I am really curious to see what they do. I can tell you're a big fan. Um, da, 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 da. What was it gonna say? Here. What was I gonna say? No, I'm really curious on like what they do with Lilith. I hope when they actually use Lilith that they actually use like do something with her character. Personally, I really hope, because I do like Lilith from like mythology, and I think she's a really cool character. But like I don't know, I really, well, that's good, I guess. I don't know. Yes. Do something with Lilith. Exactly. Exactly. And honestly, since she is like, well known in like how do you say, in the Helliverse to be like a great musician, to be honest with you, how Hell the Boss, well, excuse me, like how they approach the music side of stuff, I really want to hear some really good bangers. I don't know. I'm like, to be honest with you, like, since they are really tied to music, and that is like a huge thing in Hell of a Boss, and of course in Has Been Hotel, and they have released some really good bangers. I do, I can say with confidence that I really hope that those like the music itself is actually going to be fantastic. I really do hope it. You can see it in the clouds. Oh, hopefully that storm is not a tornado. I did have a tornado watch during my Maneater stream, and that was kind of crazy. Well, actually, let me check. Let me check outside. Actually, plus it gives me a chance to actually like move around a little bit. Wow, it's beautiful weather. It's a Gravity Falls reference from Has Been Hotel. Cool, cool, nice. Let's go. I'll probably make this a little bit. Oh, they're starting to come in. Oh, excuse me. There you go. What? So yeah, no, probably I will be expanding this a little bit bigger. Like my plan is to like push this like just make it much larger so that, they actually have some room. The sniffers, I mean. Gravity Falls is a goated show. Yeah, it is a cool. It's an awesome show. I didn't really grow up watching it, but I have watched a couple episodes, and it is pretty cool. Yeah. The only one character that I just know because of like the Tumblr sexy man meme was Bill Cipher. Bill's my favorite. Yeah. Are you familiar with the Tumblr sexy man meme? He got like a bunch of like people back on Tumblr, like when Tumblr was still a thing. Yeah. Yes, yes, exactly, exactly, exactly. There's this really great character. Well, listen, what I say? What was I gonna say? When it comes to what what was I gonna say? There's this really great creator called Vizzy. Vizzy is a fantastic character. Like, well, no, not a character. Creator. I mean, creator. Um, what was I gonna say? Creator. Yeah, no, like Vizzy actually like Bill. They used to fear me. I was famous. I was a Tumblr sexy man. Yes, exactly. If you haven't watched uh, Vizzy's video, just literally type into YouTube Tumblr sexy man and you will find that. You will. Wait, what? That Tumblr Bill really clouding your brain hole? Listen, that video was a great like exploration of the Tumblr sexy man. It's not even funny. But also just like what's that clock from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Mr. Time or something. He has a Tumblr sexy man thing and the one slur like I didn't know that there was a lot of people who found that character hot, but seeing so many people back then, they were like, "Yes, Mr. Time. Yes, exactly." He had Yeah, he had it. He's a triangle, bro. Listen, you want to know who else got the sexy man treatment? Get ready for this. Stans from Undertale. Undertale was made into a fine piece of bony, sexy man. Okay? The Dark Magician, he did not get that treatment. Probably there is one, but yeah. It's, I mean, however, I mean, yeah. Gasp. Interesting. Honestly, oh boy. By the way, I still use Tumblr. I still use Tumblr, and yeah, I the Dark Magician girl. Oh my gosh, let's go! No, my favorite out of all my I would say like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the Chaos Magician was always my favorite. You know what? I may have to go search for my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like I have a big binder. Well, no, not even a big binder. It has like some Pokemon cards and like you know, I'll pull them all up. I'll show them here and you guys will know. Remember what's that called? Uh what's that called? Blue Eyes White Dragon. I had the three-headed version, but in action figure form without its wings. I didn't actually have the cards, but you know. But you know, everyone had the Egyptian god cards. I want to get why no wings? Because I found that figure. I found that figure at Goodwill. I found that character at Goodwill. All I have them all. I love that dragon. Well, I like the Red Eyes Black Dragon. I found a lot of action figures at Goodwill because like besides Walmart, like that's where I got toys when I was younger. And I still have some actually. I have no mouth. I see. Like here, let me. I keep getting up, but here, let me pull some of those figures I have actually. If I have one card of it, I want it. You want it. Well, listen. We'll talk about our transactions later. But no. Um this is from my comic book section of my giant case. It has like all different comic book characters from like uh, Marvel, DC, Hellboy, Spawn. Only got one Spawn thing and a Hellboy thing. But this guy, here, just give me a sec. Because you guys need to see this. All right. This guy, I called him Dr. Poison when I was younger. I got him at Goodwill. I did not know anything about this guy, but he is actually called Dr. Drool, and he came from a really, really obscure, how do you say? He's kind of cute. Yeah. I love Dr. Well, I just call him Dr. Poison. Like, I know his actual name is Dr. Drool, but, you know, that's how I'm going to call him. Just noticed it? Yeah. He, uh, Dr. Poison here is from a really, and I mean really obscure. If any of you guys are actually like into like comic book history, or well, not even comic books, but just heroes in general, you would know this. It's like really like here's most people when it comes to the comic superhero iceberg. This guy is like halfway to like the bottom. And if you know like the really obscure characters, then like great. But back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was this, how do you say, home video series called Bible Man, right? Bro, I looked it up to 200 to 2K. Well, that's crazy, man. That is. But anywho, I grew up like how do you say this? When I was younger, most kids were watching like Disney Channel. Like I did watch like Nickelodeon, yes, but I also like mainly watched stuff from. I fought finally got Bible Man out of my memory. You remember Bible Man? Really? Wow. But no, like I knew some close friends to me who had like had a really strong religious upbringing, and like they mainly consumed like besides Veggie Tales, like other kinds of like children's programming that were just like you know religious, mainly all that kind of stuff. But I knew about a show called Bible Man. I only saw the imagery, never actually watched the series. Oh, I'm sorry. That's terrible. But Milo to purple. You hate Bible Man? Well, to be honest with you, like yeah, it was like a whole thing to get more people interested and get into like religion and all that. But personally, like I heard that the animated series in like the 2016, like that was actually like more of a show than like the original run from like the late 90s, early 2000s. But no, like there's very few of these in production. Obviously, this came out in 2002, and I don't know. I think for those who may not know about Bible Man or just like anything else like that, I think this is a great piece of you know uh, superhero history. It was made in 2016. No, there was a animated reboot of Bible Man back in 2016 that was a little bit more better, higher quality than the live action show. Yeah. Let me just put this away. Awesome. But to be honest with you, like I don't really dislike the show, like the original and all that stuff. Like I still like looking back at it, it does bring me back to a little bit of my childhood. I did not really watch the show, no. I only saw the image of it. But I don't know. I was just like, wow. I wonder what that is. And now it's like kind of forgotten media. And I don't know. I just think in terms of history's sake, I'm still going to keep it around. Larry Boy. Oh my gosh, yes. Remember? Oh man, I loved how you say um Veggie Tales. I loved it. And if you ask me who my favorite character was, it was Larry. Bob the Tomato was always a funny guy, silly little guy, but Larry and like the hero version of that character, man, now that was like peak cinema. Oh, there was that one, like oh boy, I remember so much of Veggie Tales, man. Like to be honest with you, that fibbing alien thing, I thought that was fantastic. I loved those videos as a kid. Well, I had Veggie Tales on VHS actually. Like that's where I also got a lot of movies too. Go to besides Blockbuster and go to Redbox, go to Goodwill. You will always find Lord of the Rings there, or just like Jurassic Park, the early Star Wars movies. Like, man, I had a giant chest actually when I was growing up in Texas, and this giant uh, chest had so many movies, had so many like VHS tapes. Like we had Hook, we had like the original Jurassic Park movie that definitely traumatized me when I was a kid, and there was also like Harry Potter movies. There was like what else? Bunch of Disney movies too. And then there was Alien too, which I'm I say again like I've only seen snippets when I was younger and YouTube like I would search for YouTube. I would watch Mojo videos and that's where I came to know about Pennywise the clown, and that's where I also came to know the xenomorph. Yeah. But that's also where like I say Jaws a little bit earlier because I've talked about that story and same with the Gremlins, but so much good stuff. Actually, for you guys, what's a piece of media that you loved when you were younger and you were like, man, nobody's really like outside of like a couple people, nobody's really gonna know this other than me. for me it's kind of Bible Man, just because like nobody like really talks about that thing anymore. Yeah. I don't know. Shark Tales? Oh my gosh, yes. Speaking of Shark Tales, there's actually a game on Steam. The Sonic Hedgehog? Sonic the Hedgehog from. Wait, let me guess. Sonic Hedgehog, the Hedgehog X. Right? Anything Sonic? Oh, yeah, there was also that one Sonic show that came out. It was kind of like in the same vein, like the Super Mario show from the 80s. Yeah, that was. I remember that one too. 2006. Yeah, I think that was Sonic X, I think. And then there was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh boy. Well, that's certainly not lost media or anything. But like before the 2012, 2013 uh how do you say, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show, which I loved that one. That was really fun. Yes, exactly, exactly. I still have fond memories watching cutscenes on YouTube. Sick. Are you talking about like the Sonic game from 2006? Yeah, no, I remember that one. But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, was I loved that one. If you ask me my favorite villain, it was always, well, in the original comics, in the original comic book run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before the show came out in the 80s, there Krang was just a singular character. But not until like 2012 was Krang turned into like a whole species. I really want to watch the newer show. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that show actually. It's on Paramount Plus actually, and I don't really care for Paramount. Like Paramount has brought us some good stuff, but like I don't think I could really see myself actually getting a subscription to watch just TN TM TMNT shows and movies. Well, actually, funny enough, the live action show is actually well, the live action movie was made through Warner Brothers. Weirdly enough, so yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in a Half Shell, Ninja Power. The movie with costumes instead of CGI. Yes, there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that came out in the 90s, like late. Well, excuse me. It came out in 1990, and that movie, you know, had the people in the suits, and yeah, it was good. Good stuff. And the reason I know about those films is not just because like people would insert clips from that movie, was because I watched when I was younger. Ooh. This guy, well, the channel, yeah. but I'm mainly talking about the man. But I remember growing up with Nostalgia Critic, and obviously like I've grown a lot from like Nostalgia Critic. But no, that's where I came to know about uh not just that stuff. Mine was really I yeah. I used to think he was like I still watch his stuff time to time. Well, I'm kind of like even when it comes to like film stuff, I've been more drawn to like creators that do video essay stuff on like films and even like like will give interesting commentary on like how do you say insert film and try to tie it back to like the given topic. So like with like I don't know what to even call it, the X trilogy, the X trilogy that includes like X from 2022, Pearl, and the Maxine movie from 2024. Like those movies, like they have a lot of interesting stuff. I haven't seen any of those movies, but there's been a lot of yeah, Pearl. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, Pearl. I I I don't know what to really call that trilogy, but no, that's been like one that I've been like kind of drawn to, and I'm like, wow, this is actually very interesting. Yes, exactly. Like, I don't know, I want to like watch the original movie X from 2022, and then shortly after that movie came out, then Pearl did, and not until like 2024 did Maxine come out, and that was the final part. I think that was like the last of that trilogy. But no, I think that would be an interesting like thing to watch because like what what those films deal with. Like you have the older folks and like they're resentful of like, these younger people and do all these like they kill and everything. I have yet to see them outside of the kill count. Yes. That's where I kind of like. That's where I heard about like those movies. Like I've always seen like the posters for them, and also I was watching a ton of kill count earlier today, and I have watched found flicks, and like no, that's another great channel to like find movies and get like interesting commentary. Like I've watched like a couple stuff on like how do you say the Nosferatu movie and like a lot of interesting commentary about the occult and like what times were like growing up in like when Nosferatu like came out, the 2024 version. But like I don't know, I want to watch these movies for myself and I think it's really great. I love the kill count with Dead Meat and Found Flicks. Really great channels. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Well, no, like besides the 2024 film, the original Nosferatu, that one was utterly fantastic. It really was. And to think too that that has become, well, it was lost to media, but then like, it's gained so much, like, you know, so much importance, not just in horror, but in film history in general, which I think is a great thing. Or really understood what vampires were. Yeah, exactly, exactly, and just also like the like the suppression of sexuality too, with like I can't remember her name, the main I say person, but like no, I just great stuff, and I really can't wait for like the werewolf movie, which I do want to see it on opening day, but that is Christmas, and we'll see about that. But like, I don't know, it would be so great. I really hope that Robert Eggers brings some interesting, cool stuff to the werewolf movie. Actually, by the way, that trailer is insane. It really is. Yes, there are ton. Well, there's a ton of them out there. Yeah, there is a lesbian and a vampire movie, and that is it came out in the 30s, and that is Dracula's daughter. That one was really really cool. That would be really cool to actually get like a you know adaptation. Like yes, Dracula will always be the king of vampires, but like I don't know, I think it would be really cool. So, yeah. I do need to go. The night uh, for me is coming to an end, but it was I mean like this stream was really fun. It really was just chatting with you guys and all this other fun stuff. So, yeah. Excuse me. I will be back on Thursday, and we'll continue the Minecraft project later on and just like all that other good stuff. But again, thank you so much for coming out and watching. It does, it really does mean a lot. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Always feel free when you have the chance to tune in and watch. It's always a great time. So, yeah. So, until Thursday, hope you have a great day and night and everything in between. And I'll see you on Thursday. Take care. Bye.